No matter how many times I've seen this, is still gold. I have no context for this, so it's the most funny thing I've ever seen. Lord forgive me, I laughed at this so many times, it's a shame. Me when I found out I have to pay child support. Perfect rebuttal to Mother's Day for our unburdened sisters. I have to admit that I was today years old when I came across my first actual clip of Insecure. I have heard a lot about the show, and gentlemen in the space have spoken about the show in terms of what it represents in terms of classes of young ladies and what comes with dating different classes, but I had never actually seen any clips from the show. I had seen this meme going around, and I was kind of curious, what's the joke in this meme? But now I get it. It was a kind of joke that she just apparently doesn't really like babies very much. This show from 2021 garnered a lot of talk in the Black community about dating and relationships. And something else happened in 2021. China commissioned the Tiangong 1, the palace in the sky.
The first thing that you'll notice about the interior of the Tiangong is that it looks spacious and wide open, especially compared to the ISS. Tiangong has a very minimalist, modern design. What's interesting is that the outside diameter of the Tiangong modules are nearly the exact same as the diameter of the ISS modules, about 4.2 meters or 14 feet across. So the difference is in the volume of internal space available. For two, the technology on Tiangong is just much more modern and therefore smaller and able to fit into a smaller space. For example, many of the systems on Tiangong will connect wirelessly instead of having to run a labyrinth of cables all around like what we see on the ISS. Also, most of the instruments and consoles on the Tiangong are hidden behind these plain white panels when not in use. That could be functional, or maybe aesthetic, or they just don't want anyone else to be able to see what they are working on. But it does help make the station look very clean and modern. It's like an Apple store in space.
In 2011, the Wolf Amendment was passed, which basically forbade any cooperation between NASA and China. So that meant that China had to find a way on their own to explore space and build their own space station. And that's exactly what they did.
3、2、1，点火！起飞10:14:44:46秒，10:30:44秒，
As can be expected from watching from afar the rapid recent advances of the Chinese space program, from landing a lunar module on the moon to collect soil samples, to launching their own individual independent space station, to even plans on having a man on the moon by the end of this decade, Washington wants in. And of course, talk of repealing or adjusting the Wolf Act are in tow because...
We'll head to the line. Makes her first. The kids really want this next basket, Jonathan. Oh, I understand. Understand. And makes the second. And there you go. You got to do it. You got to do it. It's our, I mean, why not, right? Why not? What? What an atmosphere.
Unfortunately for me, I'm not in the States, so I can't partake of the 6-7 phenomena. I'm not sure what it means, and I don't really care to spend the 15 or 20 seconds to learn what it means. I just know that it's very unlikely that it has something to do with high order math, which is probably what young kids in America should be studying in order to compete with China. That said, it calls into question the kind of educations that young kids in America are getting in mass because, well, quite simply put, not only do we hear often that women have outpaced men in education, but we hear that men are getting left behind simply because men are not as intellectually adept as women in America these days. So the question is, if women are taking the reins of education, what exactly are they getting educated in?
I'm not a feminist. I think feminism is for white women. I am a womanist.
Do you think you have feminist ideology, though?
I think I have womanist ideologies.
Isn't that the same thing?
No. Feminism is, you think Susan B. Anthony. You think feminism is white women power. I'm a womanist.
A question I find myself asking myself quite often is, as these young ladies are leading American education now, are they choosing the disciplines that are going to help the West, America, compete with China in the maths and sciences? Or are they choosing disciplines that are more people-oriented, that are more familiar to young ladies that may be of more interest to them personally than, say, the advancement of technology of America and the West. And well,
I think feminism is I don't like men, and you said that earlier.
I said I don't like men in the sense of I don't want to kiss a man. I don't want to lay with a man. I don't want to marry a man. I didn't say I don't like men as in who they are personally.
Okay.
Of course, I can't say with 100% certainty, but it's a very high likelihood that both of these young ladies are on a college campus as college students. The other young lady has on a Howard shirt, and I've never been on Howard's campus, so I can't recognize this commons area, but I can recognize the commons area because I went to college. And with the grassy spaces for people to lay out and study or throw frisbees, and then you can see the blue and red sign, which is a guidepost to certain buildings. So yes, very high likelihood that they're on a college campus. And what are they discussing? Intersexual dynamics, not science.
Us black men, we want to see natural hair. We're your natural pair, so we want to see your natural hair.
I don't care what black men want. What if I don't care what a man wants in general? What if I don't even like men?
Do you like men?
Not really.
Why not?
For these exact reasons. I think feminism is rooted in white supremacy and rooted in white women power.
Okay, what's A?
Average.
B?
Below average.
And C?
Can't eat dinner.
D?
Don't.
How do you say that?
Don't run there.
And what's an F?
Find a new family.
The moniker of Tiger Mom is one that's well earned, as not just fathers but mothers very much care about the education of their children. I've lived almost half of my life in this country, Japan, and in Asia, it is very normal for elementary school kids to finish elementary school and go to the Kumon and do some extra math work, and then come home with Kumon homework and do that before they go again to Kumon. And then at the later stages of elementary school, start doing work to prepare for high school and start going to cram schools, and then doing cram school after junior high school and their sports activities. So kids don't have a lot of free time to play video games here. But I see the 6-7 stuff and all the kind of games, and then I hear college students talking about stuff that's not math, science, STEM related, and they are considering that as higher order education, which is fine. But it's not going to help you compete against China, is it? This is a video that put me in complete shock when I saw it. It had made me think about how serious we are in the West about trying to push the envelopes of science because, well, when we think of astronaut food, we think of freeze-dried ice cream. I remember going to the Kennedy Center and seeing the freeze-dried foods and thinking it has to be terrible being an astronaut because you can't eat any really good food in space. Until now.
好，下面。
当这份鸡翅送入烤的一瞬间，所有人的心都是在期待着的。经过180度、28分钟的高温烤制，将会呈现出一个什么样的效果
？He said, "Arshibafinjong." I got that one, but these jokers are making chicken wings in space, dog. Dang, man. Man, we fell off.
大家静待。
好嘞。哇塞，哇塞，世界上的美食啊！看看，滋滋冒油啊！太棒了，色香味俱全。
Smells great.
好，新鲜出炉的烤翅啊！啊，口水都已经咽了好几波了啊！来。 哦，拿一个啊，一人一个啊，没有多的啊。
好 ，OK， 来，拿走，自己拿，自己拿。香，真讲究人还拿叉子呢。
哎呀，现在玩的香，
给身上留个大的。啊，
好，
吃完了，我都吃完了。
And just so you understand that this is a video that was taken the day before I recorded this video. This is real time, guys. These guys are roasting chicken wings in space right now. While our airports are shut down and whatever's going on, these jokers are cooking chicken wings in space, man.
它这个为啥烤出来这么好吃呢？
不错，确实不错。
吃完了。
这是第一波刺，是吧？后面还有那个牛排是吧？牛排。
Now, what did they just say? Of course, 好吃 means delicious. They're going to cook steak next.
今天的牛排，两个内蒙人在这儿烤牛排呢。吃牛，这很不容易啊，能够在天上吃上烤牛排，真是很难得。非常的，从色泽上看就非常的好，完了它也味道已经飘出来了，因为是提前腌制过的，调料已经在里面了。现在我们就把它烤上啊！好，牛排已经出锅了啊，滋滋冒油呢，你看。
Often when I hear this comparison of men and women in terms of college degrees, the first question I ask myself is, what is the net benefit of all of these degrees? Because you often hear the braggadocio of, we have more degrees, we're running laps around black men. What is the net benefit to society, and more specifically to the black community, of these degrees? Especially when you're looking at Washington, and Washington is already understanding we missed the boat. We should have been working with China all this time. And in this time of 15 some odd years, were all of these extra degrees, what percentage of these young ladies that have gotten these degrees are prepared to put on the seatbelts and do the computation so that we can at least try and chase China a little bit? Because it's pretty clear we missed the boat. They're in space cooking chicken wings, and we're on the ground arguing intersectionality, and young boys need to get held back a year. They're not doing that in China, I can guarantee you that. But they are putting rockets on the moon, and they are roasting steaks and chickens. And we're on the ground arguing about deep fried effery. Sad to see it, but I never thought America would be this behind China. Welcome to 2025, I guess. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. Catch you next video. Take care, guys.